My name is Sydney, and welcome to my new spirituality channel. I am very new at tarot reading and card readings in general, which is why I hope to name my channel Journey to Spirituality, because I only started really learning tarot cards a month ago now. So during this reading, I have chosen to do a pick a card reading or a pick a read, where you pick a pile based on whether I've put stones on it. Maybe won't always do that, but I wanted the stones to also be a part of the reading as opposed to just the cards and your intuition as to what you pick, because I find even if you find a stone attractive, that might say something about what you need right now, which I know is not how everyone reads, but at this point in time, I think I like that. I've got a thing of incense going, and I think I'm ready to get started. Whoopsies. If there is any background noise, it's most likely my cats. They have decided it's time to play, and they always do whenever I have the camera on, so there's nothing I can do about that. I would actually suggest backing up to where all the cards were perfectly in frame, and choosing what card you like by then. The cards are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I shall put the timestamps down below in the description. I will also put the information for what decks I'm using, and what cards I'm doing. So let's start out with number 1. It is a rose quartz. So to start off your reading, I'm going to read out what rose quartz really means. Rose quartz really suggests love, and all unconditional love, and just kind of opening up your heart chakra. It does represent or heal your heart chakra. I will read out from my sheet what I have here. Rose quartz is a soothing stone that fosters empathy, reconciliation, and forgiveness. It lowers stress and tension in the heart, clears out anger and jealousy, allowing healing of heart issues associated with holding negative emotions. It represents unconditional love, like I said. And as I said, it also heals the heart chakra. What is it, mister? Come on. This may mean this reading is a more love-based read, but we will see when I get to it. Now, let's get into the reading. The way I do spreads, I just figured out a way that I kind of enjoy, and it's not one that I have necessarily seen before, so we'll see how this goes. Starting out pretty good. Did I say that because of the rose quartz it might involve love? There's a couple cups and the sun. Wow. Out of all the cards, you have 3 cups in there. So over half of the cards you have out here are cups, which for those who don't know, cups is a very emotional love card, and they each mean something different, of course, but the cups really make sense why this rose quartz is here. So I'll put the rose quartz in the middle, because why not? Alright, I hope you can see everything. We have started out with the sun card, and the way I do my readings, or have just started doing my readings, is looking at the top 3 first, kind of as situation, action to take, outcome. This is how I have started to do my readings as of my first time trying this was yesterday, and I really liked how it went. So I'm very new once again at card reading, so if this doesn't hit home with you, that could be because of it being a general reading, but also because, as I said, I'm very new at this. So just take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is for my own practice, as well as if you can take something great out of this, that's awesome. Let me know in the comments and all of that. So Now, we've started with the sun card, which every time I see the sun card, I just think of sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows, everything. Like, it just is such a happy card. And the fact that this is where you're starting from is a pretty darn good place. Because usually where you start from, there's a lot of, like, more issues-related things. It's usually, like, this is an issue card. Whereas you're starting really good, considering it's the sun. And here, some things to jog of what the sun could mean for you is it represents, like, the heart and personality and joy and creativity and just pleasure. It's a very positive card because it could involve success and just confidence, and it's a really great card to start with. So I'm going to try and tap into my intuition to see what possibly specifically it could mean. I think in this situation, the sun card, you've just had something amazing happen for you. You've had something truly great happen for you in your life, whether that means you just got the job you've always wanted, whether that means you're in, like, the best relationship that's pretty, I feel like it's pretty new. You're in a relationship that's pretty new, but, like, it's going really well, and, like, there's nothing wrong that you could even see happening even in the near future or anytime. You're just in, like, a really great place right now. Like, there's something new that has just happened that has made your life feel like immaculate. Like, there's nothing wrong right now. Of course, this is maybe only one aspect of your life instead of being, well, like, all of your life. Like, of course, there's many different pathways of life. Like, there's your career, there's your personal life, there's your family specifically. Like, there's so many different areas of your life, and one of those areas could be negative right now, but one of them is so positive that the other sort of, it really outweighs this other. So that's what I'm getting for where you're started. And so what's going to happen right, like, now as to continuing on from the sun card, because it's really hard to, how do you continue when you're starting at such a positive place and you have somewhere to go. There's always somewhere to go, even if it's the most positive card ever. So you've had the Prince of Cups come up. For those who are familiar with tarot, in this deck, the Prince of Cups is equivalent to the Knight of Cups. The Prince of Cups here is, as I said, kind of like, think of him as like Prince Charming, sort of. It's like, this could be like a message of love coming to you. So if this is like the beginning of a possible romantic relationship, this is this guy or gal coming forward and saying, hey, I really like you. Maybe we should try this out. That would be the ideal, like, situation to get to the next step, which we'll get there one moment. But the sun, if the sun represents your being in, like, the flirtatious stage of relationship, and it's just so exciting, and, like, you have a bunch of potential, and, like, when you think of the sun, you can go anywhere from there. Like, you have so much potential, but then that person comes forward and it's like, hey, like, let's do something about this. We clearly both have feelings for each other, but he would say, or she, don't mind the sex. I might say he because it's a he card, but he will come forward and say how he really feels or she really feels. If it happens to be another situation, in the sense if it might be career-based, I'm seeing that maybe Coming from the Sun card, though. Yeah, if it has to do with work, I'm not sure how that necessarily goes in because of how many cups are in here. For me, I'm like, I know I gave that example with work for the Sun earlier, but seeing that you've got so many cups in here, I think this is truly more personal life, romantic life, that this is like the good flirtatious stage, and this is the actual, he's telling me how he feels. So this is like when you're starting to either become official or really take this, whatever is going on, more seriously, because you've got the Five of Cups next, which Five of Cups is like, once again, it's a emotional card. However, it is kind of technically one of the more rough, I guess you could say, Cups cards, because it's to do with like dwelling on the past. And if this is something you want, like if this person is someone you want, because according to these cards, you do want this person in your life. You do want this person. But if this is your outcome, which you can always get past this outcome, you can always even like avoid this outcome if it is the case. If you're aware of it, this could be the death of whatever this is if you let it take over your life. Dwelling on past relationships or trauma you may have had in the past that has had somebody cross you or make you mistrustful of other men or women, because let's say somebody cheated on you before and now you're doubtful. Even though this is great, even though you know, like intellectually this is great, your emotions are still like, ooh, do I go for it? Because maybe I could be crossed in this weird way of the world, because that could happen. But if this is your outcome, that could ruin whatever this is. And I would say, if you want to get past this, you just got to throw it out the window. See, there's a wide open door. Throw it out there. Or walk into that door where the light shines bright. Don't, like, these cups are nicely stacked. But if you keep it up, they're going to all fall apart with all of the, if you have negative thoughts about what this could be. So I think you need to go in it with a bit of carelessness, because yeah, relationships can go either way, but I think truly this is a good thing. You're starting with the Sun card, and the Sun card honestly is one of the most positive cards in tarot. So if you're starting with the Sun card, this is what you don't want to end that way. You don't want to end that way. So if I'm to give you advice to do with this part of the reading, I would say you just need to like not dwell on the past, which is hard. It's hard to do that. But use the strength you have and say to yourself, okay, this guy is different or this girl's different. They're different from who that person who crossed me was. This relationship has so much more potential than that one, because this person is different and actually good, or is good for me. Even if he or she is not necessarily what you consider good, they could be good for you. Hopefully they are also good, but... Alright, I'm not entirely sure where my camera stopped recording. Hopefully it wasn't too long ago, but I was nearing the end of the top row's reading, and to me, the top row, you can avoid this. You can avoid this outcome if you throw those worries out the door. And as I said, the door's wide open there. Just throw them out the door. This is a new situation. This is a new person. Whatever happened in your past, don't let that affect this, because this is good. Now, the two other cards I have laid out here, they are from a separate tarot deck, of course. But how I have done this is these are an underlying reading. or something that like this may be in your prominent life right now, but we'll see what under here says, because these could be either an underlying message or something you have swept under the rug that should have more of your attention but doesn't. So the 9 of Pentacles is your first card here. I just love how beautiful these cards are. They are very beautiful. So this is your first card here. And 9 of Pentacles is hella freaking positive card. So if this is under the rug, like, okay, we'll see what's going on. So you've got a really positive spread going on here. So for 9 of Pentacles, this is basically the card that's telling you you found your success because of your work. I'm getting this maybe is more career-based because of the Pentacles, which Pentacles is all to do with like business and money and yeah, finances and stuff. So Pentacles, whatever you've been working really hard on, probably separate from this here. As I said, this is more of an underlying reading. This is more to do with what else is going on in your life that maybe doesn't have the forefront of your life at this time. But the 9 of Pentacles, this is like you're reaping what you've sown. Like you've spent how much time working your butt off, whether it's been to create your own company or to get a raise or anything of that sort. The amount of work you've put in, you either have just recently gotten what you've wanted because you're finally getting what you deserve, or you very soon will be. And to go with that, you have the 7 of Cups, which the 7 of Cups is a very imagination-based card. So if you want to maybe, here, let me see. You know what I'm getting? I'm getting that this maybe hasn't quite happened yet, but the only way that it will happen is if you trust your intuition and your imagination to let you choose the right, here. Let me show you this card. You want to choose the right cup and listen to your dreams, listen to your everything. Like just listen to your dreams, because your subconscious will tell you things that you won't consciously think about, and your imagination to choose the right path that will lead you to your success, because this is success. Like if anything is success, the 9 of Pentacles is success. So I'd say listen to your imagination at this time. Like I said, this is separate from this. This is something that you should put a little bit more work into, or a bit more of your time worrying about, because I know this sounds weird, but like your romantic relationship is like, it's very important, but so is your career, and you should spend some time worrying about that instead of just worrying about your romantic relationship. And I know for myself that's a little hypocritical to say, because I do get very involved when I fall for somebody. That kind of becomes my whole life for that point in time. But this is kind of encouraging you, maybe kind of focus on this too, because maybe also this, focusing on your work and choosing what path to take to find your success, maybe that will help you get rid of these worries that you're not going to have a positive relationship. Because if you're focusing on something else, you will focus your energy elsewhere as opposed to worrying about whatever's going on up here. Now I'm going to show you 2 different oracle cards. One, we've got the zebra. Where's the place for this guy? Here. Let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. Hey, that goes hand in hand with this. You need to let go of that crap. Throw it out the door, like I've said. The zebra is telling you, you need to let go of your fear and know whether you believe in angels. Like, I'm like mixed on that, but your angels and your spirit guides, they're there to help you. They're there to look after you. Like, you're okay. This person is probably good for you. And if they're not, don't let whatever the past was like make you change yourself for whatever this greatness could be. So you need to know that you're safe and protected at all times, like this card says. And now we've got one more card, and this is also another crystal card. This is the Kamamba Jasper. Now I'm going to have to address the book here so I can tell you exactly what this one means. Alrighty, so the Kamamba Jasper, it represents ancient echoes. So for self-understanding, when you live in your head rather than the physical world, your cellular structure becomes unstable and your metabolism is thrown off balance. So, like I've said with this one's once again referring to these worries, which are they're not helping you at all. Like, these worries are in your head. They're your overthinking worries that don't benefit anything. Like, even if you put this sort of worrying into your work, it's not going to benefit anything. Also, you may not be assimilating oxygen or nutrients such as minerals and vitamins because of something like this. So silly, such negative thinking, or thinking that is based on not fact, just what you're creating in your head. Remember that ideas are nutrients too, and disruption of your autonomic nervous and immune systems may be caused by ancient traumas and family dramas. This card is telling you, come on, all of these cards are like relating to the Five of Cups. Get rid of that crap. Throw it out the door. You really need to get over that. And for your healing insight, by changing how you view things, you can dramatically improve your well-being and therefore improving this situation, both of these situations. Your romantic relationships will flourish once you get rid of that crap from traumas from the past. And also your career, once you finally make up your mind with this. And this is a very potential-based card. You could pick the wrong choice, but once you trust in your imagination and your intuition, whatever choice you pick will be right. So, I think we're pretty much done there, though. So, really, to center off your reading, get rid of whatever crap you're holding on to from your past, because it's not helping your mental health. It's not helping your situations you have going on in your life, which have so much potential. You have so much potential in this relationship, or I'm truly feeling like this is a relationship-based thing. You have so much potential in this, and you have so much potential in your career, but you can't hold yourself back here. And I think that's what a lot of this is saying. All right. That's it. Sorry, that was kind of long. We will continue now. That was a pretty good reading. You've got positive things going on in your life. You just need to truly, truly think of them as so. We've got group number 2, and we're starting off with the blue quartz. And now, so the blue quartz it activates the throat chakra and promotes speaking of one's mind. And it releases introversion and fear while promoting experiences which are fresh and new. So, what I get from that is it kind of breaks you out of your shell, and really makes you kind of more confident with how you feel, and maybe encouraging excitement in your life. So, let's see what the cards have to say for you. Alrighty. Now, I said this for the first group, but if you just went to the timestamp, you wouldn't have heard. I do a layout that is very unique to me that I have just found out I really enjoy just yesterday, actually. And this is what it is. So we'll see how this goes. And we start off with the Hierophant, which for the top 3 cards, this is a separate kind of reading from down here. These are underlying. So this is like a big situation in your life right now. So for this, this is your situation. So with the Hierophant, it's a very religious or spiritual based card. So you could be dealing with a spiritual change, or releasing yourself from a previously confined spiritual life. Meaning, if you were like in a family where you were raised extremely Christian or extremely Catholic or whatever religion it may be. I'm using those as examples because I'm more familiar with them. But if you were raised in a household that was extremely one of those, and you were at church every single day or every single week, and you like never missed going to church, or it could be literally with any religion. So it could even be spirituality, but that's usually not always the case with this one, because I feel like it's more religion based as opposed to the spiritual world. But it could be you releasing yourself and finally taking a step back and seeing, okay, is this benefiting me? Is this following this kind of blindly? Am I going to continue following blindly, or am I going to step back and am I going to look at this world in a very different light? Am I going to choose what I feel fits with my narrative and my philosophy, if that's the case? So this is definitely change-based, or at least choice-based. So you do have a choice to change how you think, and I say directly kind of relating to spiritual and all that. And I think that's a potential right here. So now with the 10 of Pentacles, that's what your action is to lead to the star. So the 10 of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles is always related to, like, I find business and success and money, I find. And 10 of Pentacles, this is a very good card. This is security. So the Hierophant, I think, relating to this card, the 10 of Pentacles says, when you find the correct choice between the few options you have here, you will find security. And whether that can be like releasing yourself from a church or like belief system that doesn't necessarily match your values anymore, you'll be then not spending your money and time with that. You will then be a part of something different. I think this is more to do with you finding security. That's what I keep coming to. So once you pick the right choice, and the right choice could be not changing. The right choice completely could be not changing. And if you feel that's for you, then you'll find your security here with your action. Your action will be your security, and you will find my home life is flourishing. My career is flourishing. Things are just working out. Things are working out because when you make the proper choice to be whatever spirituality you feel, even if that's atheism, which, like, people can believe nothing, and that's fine. If that's the right choice for them, they will find that their action being the 10 of Pentacles being a very positive outcome, because if they need in their life right at this time to literally cut all religion and belief systems out of their lives, that will work for them and they'll find success. Now, this being an action card is not the ending. The ending will be the star, which the star is also like a very astrological, it's a very astrological card, meaning, of course, the star systems, astrology. But I find the star it's a very very positive card once again. And it has to do with like money as well. Not everyone is super into astrology. I find if you're into spirituality, you could be into astrology, but a lot of times the star could represent, because it's such an astrological card, maybe check out what your horoscope is saying right now, or maybe see what planets are in what position right now that may be affecting your choices here. Or maybe, here, let me gather my thoughts on this one. All right, so I'm seeing it's once again a new, happier life will begin here. So if you find security after choosing the right choice, your real life will begin. So security is its own thing. I think of security as, like, in this situation anyway, everyone has a different definition of security, but in this situation, I see security as the breaking even point where you're no longer in deficit. You're no longer in deficit, so you are secure. You are breaking even, I'm going to say, is this level of security that this is saying, because the only way to go up from that is to then have a new fulfilling, happier life, because you have picked what you believe is right for you. And when you do, you will find yourself to be much more happy. I would maybe suggest, just out of curiosity, check out your horoscope right now. I don't always believe the daily ones. They're kind of wishy-washy at times, but definitely check out your horoscope for, as I said, out of curiosity. And really, you might be getting the money and the recognition you deserve because of all of this. Now, let's move on to the 2 cards at the bottom. These are an underlying issue, either an underlying issue or a situation that you're not giving your whole heart to. These are an underlying situation that isn't getting your full attention, that you're sweeping under the rug because you're focusing on this, which this is a great thing to focus on, but sometimes other things are important too. So these cards, you start out with the Queen of Wands. So what is the situation then? The Queen of Wands. I really need to use my intuition on this one, because really my notes reference the Queen as an actual person. And if she is, I feel like this is work-based. So this is spiritually based. This is work-based. The Queen of Wands could be your boss. Does that feel right? Could be someone you just really confide in, that I'm going to go with this. Not the boss thing. She is somebody you truly confide in. And that could be in your creative life, because a lot of the time wands are creative based. In your creative life, she could be helping you flourish in that. I think this one's a little challenging for me. As I said, once again, I am very new at this, so now I'm going to read a few things that I have written down. So see if this, I feel like that she is a person in your life. She is a person in your life that you have maybe swept under the rug a little bit, that you're like, yeah, they're a great person, but like, I think you should almost like put more time in them, because you might find their advice and having them around very beneficial, because I'm sure you know that, but you just haven't truly accepted that as like something you should have more in the forefront of your life just yet. So, some descriptive words to explain who the Queen of Wands could be. They're somebody who is like a very honorable, warm, generous, loving person who is creative and intelligent, friendly, and mature. So they could be someone who's younger, but someone who's like kind of an old soul, who like is very mature for their age if they are a younger person, or they could be, I'm getting a feeling like, I know it's not the Hermit card, but like I'm getting a hermity feeling, meaning they could be like a teacher to you, if that is the case. So that's who this is, and they could really be beneficial in your life. And also you have the Justice card down there, which the Justice card is all about balancing out your scales. So if that's to do with up here, you're balancing out what you've got going on in your life. So you have this person who you should be giving more attention to, because they are open and ready for you to take them in, and like, or to take you in, actually. They're opening and ready to help you out. And here, the Justice card. Yeah, it's all about like moderation and no bias. So this person, if they are also this Justice, they are truly, truly beneficial for you. And the Justice is all about, like, as I said, balancing your scales. There's a scale on there that's completely balanced. There's no bias. There's all moderation. And she's connected to the sun here on the bottom of the card, and in a triangle, which is body, mind, and soul. And maybe this person can help you find your spiritual journey. If that is the case, these two readings may be connected, like, more than just this being underlying. I think maybe she or he, whoever, could really help you make your choice. And of course, you need to trust yourself. But with the assistance of somebody else, it's always easier to feel like you're doing the right thing. Okay. I think that's good on that, because the Justice card, as I said, is about moderation. So if she is helping you with this, and I think why it's underlying is because maybe you need to really listen to her. You really need to, like, take into her consideration, like, really take her words in and let them affect you, as opposed to some other people who are like, just will talk and try and convince you of things that, like, don't really matter. This person's important, and they're on the same wavelength as you, so trust them. And the Justice card, yeah, if you trust them, you'll find this balance and moderation of your life, because that balance may be the imbalance, maybe like coming out of the imbalance of religious life and personal life, because sometimes religion can truly take over your life. Okay, I think that's it for that right now. And now let's see. You've got the Puyo, which is the Hawaiian owl. Your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance now, so pay close attention to signs and omens from them. So that, to me, is a definite relation to the whole religious, spiritual air of this reading, which I find, yeah, the whole reading is very religious based. Having the Hierophant is like the beginning of it. So your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance now. Maybe they're offering you guidance through the Queen of Wands, through whoever this woman is. This woman could be a mother, or an aunt, or I don't know. This could be somebody in your family. So if it is an ancestor who is this person, that would make even more sense. Doesn't have to be, of course, but a lot of the time it has to do with spirits who, like ancestors who have passed over already and who have gone to the other side. Now, that makes a lot of sense there. So really, like, take the guidance, I think, is what the whole reading is telling you. take the guidance, and you'll find your star reading is going to end up. You're going to end up in a happier new life, and that's just the right path for you to find. To trust in other people a bit more, maybe, to help you make the choice. And you'll end up just like in a great place. Now, apatite comes up as the crystal at the end of the reading here. Now, I have to just consult my book here. And apatite represents acceptance. So, clear away confusion or guilt. Accept the truth about yourself. You are a complex being with credits and deficits. Recognize these without judgment. Move away from aloofness or social alienation and show others who you truly are. You have so much to offer by way of service as you access insights for the collective good. And your intuition knows what's best for you. So, when it says your intuition knows what's best for you, at the end of the day, that means this decision will come from your intuition. But truly, I do believe you should trust in what this person has to say. They're not going to say anything to harm you. Okay, I think that's it. All right, that was a long reading. Okay, let's get going. Now, number 3, we have Bronzite here. Now, Bronzite is for willpower, confidence, and empowerment. So it's very like you use this one to amp up, I think more to do with like social situations. You may want to bring this along with you in that sort of case. I got a really flat cut of it, so all right, so let's start out your reading. Now, we're starting with the Fool. We've got another Justice card right after that other reading. The last reading had the Justice card in the underlying, so we'll see what this one means. Okay. Now, we're starting out with the Fool, which the Fool to me is the beginning of a journey. Is the beginning, could also be the end, but to me, I truly feel the Fool is the beginning of a journey. So this could be a recent switch in careers, recent switch in majors if you're in school, a recent switch in relationship. You just got into a relationship. It's a new journey. Or even if you have just gotten out of a relationship. However, if it's gotten out of a relationship, I feel it isn't a very negative feeling around it. So it could have been like a mutual decision being like, this just isn't working anymore. We maybe don't have the same feelings as we did before. If that's the case, that's where I'm feeling. However, we'll see which path it goes with the other cards. And now with the Justice. The Justice card is a card of moderation. See, she has the whole scales thing going on. And really, that card's really all about finding moderation without any bias in your life. And this is your action card. So this is where you're starting out from. So if you're starting out on a new adventure, honestly, that's a pretty good place because everyone starts out new at some point in their life. Nobody is born and is magically just like a genius baby. Like, you have to learn along the way. So this is the beginning of whatever journey. And I'm feeling it could be more to do with being independent, an independent journey. So you just maybe you just quit your job or you just left your relationship. I'm feeling that this is you maybe just quit your job. It's an independent sort of journey. So you just either quit your job or just got out of a relationship there. And while you have time on your own, you're going to need to figure out how to, I think it sort of has to do with clearing up whatever junk is going on from like whatever you just were dealing with, because there's no reason you'd quit a job unless there was some disease that came along with it, and you need to just find your center again. I think that's what this card is here for. And if this is your action, when you find your center, it will lead to the 10 of Cups, which is, look, your 10 cups runneth over. And that card is a very positive card, if I remember correctly. Yes, it's all about lasting happiness. And even if this is to do with a new relationship or a new career or a new life path, when you find the balance to do with any of that stuff, you will find literally the best and most happy thing ever. Like, your cup runneth over. That's the best way I can explain that one. This could represent like real love. It could represent like complete satisfaction. It's true abundance. And when it says true abundance, that means like emotional abundance, not necessarily money. As like I've said before, Cups is an emotional based card. So you will find yourself to be like literally the happiest human being on this planet if you just find the balance. Find the balance, because new journeys are tough, and butterflies come along with that, and doubt can come along with that. So just trust and find the balance in your life, because that will lead to your ultimate success and abundant life, where you will literally be the happiest person ever. All right, now this was your like beginning reading. Now how I've been doing my readings is I have then had this as your underlying reading, or like a situation that you've maybe swept under the rug or haven't been paying as much attention to, as this being in the forefront of your life. So the 4 of Cups is how you start with this one. Now, the 4 of Cups. Funny how you have 4 of Cups and then 4 of Swords. So 4 of Cups first. Now this. It's all about like withdrawal a bit for this. So if this is connected to this, maybe, even if you're about to set on this journey, maybe you need some like breather time to like chill before you're like on to the next thing, because I know everyone can get excited, but before you go running to the next project or running to the next job, you need to like get rid of the baggage from the other job or other thing. So I think this is very good for you to consider, because you may find a bit more bliss in your life, and maybe you might find your moderation here if you take some time for yourself to maybe heal or just like chill for a little bit. It really is to do with like focusing on yourself, and you gotta like let down after you've had a bunch of building up before this, because now this is a new journey. So alrighty, someone in. We'll let that pass. Okay, now this is encouraging you to chill, to get better. And 4 of Swords, it's a similar meaning but different. This is to do with rest and recuperation. Oh, pardon me. This one's to do with rest and recuperation, just like this one is. But this one is more to do with you may had a bit of trauma just recently. Now I'm trying to figure out how these two fully connect, because they are basically telling you that to chill out a bit, But I feel like this one's more like encouraging you. You need to chill out. Whereas this is like, you've just had some crap happen. This is a necessity. So, just give me one moment to gather my thoughts on that. So I understand why this is in the underlying place of your reading, really. That's because the Four of Swords, this forces you to look back on the crap that has happened. You need to. And because if you bring the baggage in, you will never get to the 10 of Cups, the success and the cup runneth over. Like you won't get there if you have this baggage. So this is encouraging you to take a chill pill because like you're tired and wired, like not like you got worked up and all that, but this is more chill out, like take a bit of time for yourself. But this one, if anything, you need to take some time off, take some vacation time. Like if you're still working, take vacation time, or if you're in school, take a couple mental health days. Literally, like, you need a break. You need a break right now. Majorly need a break. This is the first stage of recuperating, because you've accepted what's happened and you're starting to rest. So first stage of recouping from trauma is the resting. You've accepted it. You know what happened. You know what happened and it's crappy, but you're figuring it out. Now, with the two fours together, you need to take this seriously and like take your health and your mental health seriously and take a few days off. Like if you can, a week. Like take time off. You need it. You need to look back on what's been going on, see where you can learn from it, and then continue your time, okay? Because once you look back on that in itself is healing. That in itself can help you get to this moderation where you can eventually find your most happiest being. And I know it sounds kind of like crazy talk, like who could ever be this happy? It's possible. It's possible to be that happy. You just got to believe that you can and trust that if you take some time to like think about yourself instead of everyone else or other situations, because like, yeah, school's important and everything, but you are more important than any other physical thing in this world. So take the time for you and then continue your journey, okay? Now let's see what other stuff we've got. You got the gorilla. Take the time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. Now, if you're going to take some time for yourself, and I thoroughly encourage you to spend time like alone for yourself, your family, also if you're not necessarily with them a lot anymore, if you're an adult, you've moved out a while ago or whatever state of life you're in, sometimes your family can help you heal too. That is if you have had a good relationship with them. But it is encouraging you to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. So it doesn't have to be a family member, but it says especially, so I think it's somebody who is like family to you. You need to take the time for yourself, and when you are a couple days into that and you're starting to feel a bit better, maybe reach out to somebody and say how you've been feeling, because how you feel is very important and can affect how you become successful and abundant. Now, you've got the garnet coming up for the final crystal card. Now I just have to reference my book. All right, so the garnet represents passion. You are a passionate soul with a courageous heart. Be confident and constant. Let go of your inner demons, taboos, inhibitions, and fantasies. Recognize self-sabotage and expand your awareness into all that you can be. Virtue matters to you. You are capable of great devotion to a cause or a relationship and have a strong survival instinct. For healing insight, find an appropriate outlet for your passions and emotions. It creates well-being. Now, I think with the passion in this card, you will find your passion because you are now on this other road. You've started this new journey because you've realized that this new thing is your actual passion. This is why you've changed majors, you've changed careers, I feel like it's more to do with majors or careers or something new, not personal life related. I think it's more career or school based. But your passion, you know what your passion is, and when you get passionate about something, you can be very quick to change things, or you just get excited. I totally understand that, because immediately when I was into tarot, I was like, okay, doing it all now. Like, as I said, I've only been doing this for a month, and I'm like doing pretty well because I've literally, for 1 week, I learned all the cards in less than 1 week. So sometimes, though, some people need a little break. So take that break. Please, for the love of all things holy, take the break. All right, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Now let's move on to the next one. We are starting off with Amazonite. This is number 4. Okay, so Amazonite. Now let me read what Amazonite is all about. Amazonite is helps your well-being and health, and it calms your emotions such as worry and fear. It is a crystal that motivates you to action and to speak. So I find this is just like, once again, like, it's a confidence crystal. So it helps you really relay what you want to say, and helps you feel more sure of yourself, is what I would say is the best description. So you got 6 of Wands. Alrighty. Okay. Now, how I do my readings, how I've been doing them, is this is its own reading, a 3-card spread, and then we've got this as an underlying reading or something brushed under the rug. So for this beginning reading, let us hope my battery stays alive because it's dying. Oh no. Okay. So the 6 of Wands is your beginning situation. So the 6 of Wands. Now, 6 of Wands is a very positive card. So if this is your situation, you're starting out pretty good. So you may have just received some good news. You've just won something, or I don't know what happened to my camera, but you have had triumph over adversity here. So you are finally getting the recognition you deserve. You're finally winning here. And I'm feeling like this could be creatively because it's the Wands, or it could be like in your career. That's what I'm feeling right now. We'll see when I get further down what I feel. And then you have the 10 of Swords as your action on what you're going to act on, how after this anyway. So the 10 of Swords. See, the 10 of Swords is not necessarily a positive card. It is all about like stress and kind of unneeded stress. So it's really to do with you really don't have any reason to feel this way, and you need to just stop worrying, because you can't live life worrying. And this is similar to, I think, the first reading, where it's like, come on, get over this, like, throw this out the window. But like with the 10 of Swords, you really just like you need to... Ooh. I'm feeling like this may be outside of your work. And because you're finally finding success in it, you may need to break away from the things that aren't bringing you joy. That's what I'm getting here. I hope I'm right there. And that would lead to the Lovers, which the Lovers is all about a choice. It's not necessarily a love relationship. I'm not feeling it's a love relationship here. But definitely, I feel like you're doing something creative and it's really making you feel fulfilled, and you're doing really well at it. You're actually getting some positive responses, and here you're worrying about something that doesn't even matter. You're worrying about your work. Let's say you work in like the businessy world, and you're worried about that when outside of there, you're doing your own thing. You may be getting money from it. Who knows? I'm not sure. But you're feeling really fulfilled about this. But you're worrying about something that doesn't actually matter, which is this. Your work, which is something that doesn't make you feel fulfilled or make you feel any joy at all. Now, with the Lovers, once again, it's the choice. I'm like, what's the right choice? Is it the whichever one you want? Is it the work, or is it what you really want, which is the creative side of things? I'm giving this as an example. It could be something else, but that's what I'm mostly seeing right now, is like the choice between your creative outlet versus your kind of money outlet at the moment. But I feel like, honestly, when you make the right choice and when you fully commit yourself to something, you will find the success that way. So the Lovers is all about choice. So this is telling you the only way to get out of this crap is to quit your job. Quit your job or quit whatever this is. And by the Lovers is therefore saying, whatever you choose, that's going to be right for you. Because you're choosing between work and your creative outlet. And you know which one's going to make you happy. You know. All right. Now the Three of Wands and the Two of Wands. As I said, this is an underlying reading or something you have swept under the rug. Maybe this is your, like, something that's very prominent in your life right now. But down here, this is something that is something you might need to give a bit more attention to. So the Three of Wands is your first card here. Now, the Three of Wands... Okay. Now, I think this has to do, both of these, because they're wands, I think this has to do with your creative outlet. And it's funny, you're sweeping it under the rug, because this is all about, like, you need to find some other people who can help you further this creativeness. Like, I don't know what it could be. Like, you could be working on a project. Like, I know I'm into theater and stuff. You could be writing a show. You could be writing a play, a musical. You could be writing your own music. Like, you might want to get some other collaborators on this, because sometimes it's difficult to do everything on your own. You might even want people who can help you with the numbers aspects of things if you're more the creative person. I don't know. You need other people to help you out with this. I think that's what the Three of Wands is encouraging, because the Three of Wands is all about, like, you got this, but, like, you might want somebody else who can, like, help you make this a reality. And for the Two of Wands is a possible, like, problem that could alter the course of this, but I feel like it's more to do with, like, an element. It has to do with an element of surprise. So this, when you get collaborators, they may not always be, like, the perfect people. So, like, that could alter the course of that you're going, but it doesn't necessarily have to alter it negatively. You just got to work with it because all of a sudden you've got somebody else you're working with. However, as I said, this is not like that big of a deal. Like, it should be fine. You'll be fine, honestly. So, okay, like I said, your Three of Wands, find a collaborator, find somebody to help you out with. And the Two of Wands may be an unforeseen, like, little issue, but this is something that will pass very quickly. And I think maybe that might be the whole money aspect of things, because you've been making money up here, whereas now that if you quit that, you'll find that your money is kind of short, which is, I feel like this is only not a very long-winded issue. That's what I'm getting. Okay, let's see what we got over here. You get the Chameleon. Stay in the background and adapt to the situation rather than being conspicuous and attempting to direct the course of events. So, now, with this card, I'm seeing this relating to the Three of Wands here, which is, as I said, the collaborator thing. You're going to have to let some other people take the wheel at times, even though it's hard when you're like the person who's worked so hard for some creative project and then you're giving some of it to someone else. It's hard, but yeah, but what I think you really sometimes the best things come out of collaborations that maybe were not always like trusted at the beginning, but once you let go of your ego and when you let go of your worries and fears, let go of your worries and fears, you will then direct the course of events to then find your success, which you can pass this crazy whatever unexpected thing is. Now, you've got the Bumblebee Jasper as your final crystal card. And the Bumblebee Jasper once again represents trust. So you've got to trust in this person. You've got to trust in the situation that it will occur the way it's meant to go. You will find your success. You can't control it. It will come. Now, for self-understanding, you are a divine being with immense inner riches holding the bright, energizing light of the sun. You were born to carry out a specific task. Charismatic, you naturally attract people. You have inner strength and courageously go where others do not dare. Harvest your resources and put them to work to heal dis-ease. Now, for healing inside, food intolerances and other allergies may underlie any physical discomfort you experience. So what I get from this, the inner riches bit, you've got the creative drive, you've got all good ideas, and you just gotta trust it's gonna happen. Like, the universe will bring it to you. You do have to work hard, and you do have to trust in this person too, but it will come. It will come. I think that's all I've got. So I hope you liked your reading. Now let's move on and hope my camera stays alive for it. Okie dokie, one more. You guys have the Dragon Blood Stone. So, Dragon Blood is all about strength, courage, persistence, and compassion. Now, with that, I think kind of fiery. Fiery like a dragon. Hey, I didn't even intend that. Pardon that craziness. But now let's see what your reading brings. My camera is on its last legs. Let's hope we get this done. Am I doing this wrong? Oh, I put that down wrong. This is supposed to be this way. This one's that way. Okay. Fun. We've got some inversions going on. Okay. I'm not very good with inversions, so I will have to refer to another book. All right, so because you're starting with your Nine of Pentacles here, Nine of Pentacles, inverted or reverse, sorry. Your security is shaky and you may be dependent on someone else, perhaps a spouse or relative, for your financial well-being. Circumstances may have caused you to lose your independence. Figure out how to regain what you've lost. So, considering that, you really, having it reversed, usually when it's upright, it's like individuality and like you're like supporting yourself and all that. But with it reversed, you're then the opposite kind of. You're not independent at this time, and it's probably to do with being too dependent on somebody else. Or I relate to this because it's like in my life I still live with my mom because I live in a city where it's almost impossible to live on your own because of how expensive it is. And seeing that minimum wage has gone up, but still, it does not match the amount in expenses you have to pay living on your own. So this is to do with financial independence. And we'll see with the Four of Swords how you can regain that, or how you can feel at peace with the situation you're in. Or I really think you need to find a way to regain your financial independence, whether that involves paying rent to the person you're living with or something like that, or anything of the sort. We'll find out what's going on. But you got the Four of Swords as the action you should take. So the Four of Swords is about rest and recuperation. We had a Four of Swords in another reading a couple ones ago. And really, this one's all about, like, it's the first stage of recovery when you've had something crazy happen. So when I see that, I get that maybe this is so traumatic and taxing to you. Maybe you've always had money for yourself, and now you may have just moved back in with your parents, or something along those lines, where you're like, all of a sudden, just, I can't afford this anymore. Or you just recently had an injury and you haven't been able to work and make money, and so you're not able to have the financial abundance you want because of some unpredictable events. Now the Four of Swords, because you felt so crazy about that, this is your recovery. This is you figuring that out, and it's some time for yourself, I think. You need more time for yourself. And that will lead to the Hanged Man, which is all about like meditation and feeling your best spiritual self, is kind of what he represents. So, let me see. It is to do with like a little bit of self-sacrifice and finding enlightenment, and maybe just like to get over this, or when you do get over past this stage, because this is your first sign of recovery, your lasting signs of recovery, or lasting means of recovery in how you stay at peace in your mind and body and soul. I apologize once again. I was messed up by my camera. My camera did die. Oh no. Anyways, so what I was saying, I was on the Hanged Man, which is like finding, I think, your everlasting peace of mind, is possibly meditation of some sort, because when you get past your initial recovery, you're going to have to find something that's long-lasting, where you can feel that you're independent and happy in your life, which for a lot of people, meditation is very helpful. I don't personally meditate just yet. I hope to get into it at some point, but it's definitely very therapeutic to a lot of people. So if you're someone who relates to this, I would suggest maybe when you get to this, through this point anyway, because this is in the future. But that may be your everlasting peace. I apologize, my microwave is on. My mother just got home. So now we're going to move on to the underlying part of the reading, which starts with the Tower. This could be a situation you have swept under the rug, or is not in the forefront of your concern right now, because this is. And it starts with the Tower, which is kind of, it's all about like ruin, and it's similar to the Death card in the sense that something is crumbling and it needs a change. So you need to make a change, because the only way to go from here is to rebuild, because the Tower is falling apart. The Tower is destroyed. So whatever fell apart I'm assuming before this. It feels like something fell apart before this. So that's the reason you were in this situation of like unwanted dependence on somebody. Whereas the Tower is telling you need to make a change, because considering this other thing that caused this is not the forefront of your concern, it kind of should be, because this was caused by something, and that you just need to like start over in that regard. And the Three of Swords comes up, which is kind of an emotionally wrenching card, because it's to do with severance and separation, which it really, really relates to this card in the sense that you should sever your ties to this. Like, you really just need cut those ties, take a sword, cut the ties from that situation, because whatever caused you to be in this craziness is something that now needs to be rekindled with something completely different. You need to rebuild something else. And with the help of maybe meditation, you can help clear your mind to find whatever that is. But you need to spend time thinking about this. And with the Three of Swords, like I said, it's to do with ending something. And that could even be the fact that you're slightly too connected to whatever the situation was. And you need to just cut it off, like cut it out of your life. Like, whether that was getting ill and having to leave work, or whether that was unknowingly quickly losing your job. You need to get over it. You need to sever that to be happy, and then probably start on this, which is your first stage of recovery. And then eventually get to the point where you can meditate and clear your mind. I think that's what that says. So let's see what you got. The Octopus. Practice shape-shifting by altering your physical appearance and mannerisms. Okay. So, with this card, I think this will tie into your meditation. Because obviously, technically, people can't shape-shift. But your mannerisms can be affected by how grounded you are, and meditation can help ground you. So I think that directly correlates with the Hanged Man card, because you really, 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 it's encouraging you to then change yourself. Like, just not change yourself, but like alter yourself for the better, like grow. And I think a part of that goes along with this, because you're rebuilding something. So naturally you will grow from that experience. And instead of being, pardon this, but like, instead of being like a child and whining and being sad about this, find a way to fix it. Change the way you think about it. So change your mannerisms about that. And your physical appearance. If you've been into change the phase, so like you can think of something else and like distract yourself maybe a little bit. Like, focus on like how long you just take a bit more time on your makeup is what it's saying, or something like that. But I think it does connect more with the Hanged Man in the sense that you need to trust the meditation process so that you can ground yourself, because that will probably be the most healing thing for you. And you have Ancestral Light coming up as your final crystal card. And Ancestral Light, of course, by the name and everything, it represents the ancestors, which self-understanding Any dis-ease you are carrying is ancient and has passed down through the ancestral line. It relates to prevailing attitudes and forbidden emotions that have been kept firmly repressed, as well as to ancient traumas and family dramas. Healing insight. The ancestors are all those who have gone before, not just your bloodline. Heal them and you heal yourself. So I think to connect to yourself, which doesn't, connecting to yourself separates you to this, from this trauma from other beings, and that will help you, like with the meditation will help you. And I think that's another thing for severing the ties. Sever the ties to the traumas of the past, which could maybe even not be your traumas. They could be other people's traumas that you're holding on to. Sever that. Rebuild yourself. Because the only way you can get past this situation, which is not being independent, which is what you truly want, is to truly cut out this. Cut out the crap you don't need to carry on your shoulders, because it's stressful and there's nothing that it will help you with. I hope that's okay for this reading. This reading was a little all over the place, and I also had my mom show up halfway through, so I apologize if I didn't seem as focused. But I hope you got something out of it. Anyways, that's all for me. Hope you enjoyed your reading. Once again, I'm very new at this, so I am in the learning process still, and this is for my practice. If you connected with it, I am very glad. If not, I'm sorry about that, but sometimes even general readings just don't connect, even with experienced readers. So I hope you enjoyed your reading, and have a great one. Bye-bye.